Alright, how everybody doing today? This is an update video about if I'm wrong about everything. If I'm wrong about everything, I will admit that I'm wrong about everything. Okay? So this time I'm not gonna do any gematria. I'm gonna go based off my chart that I have here. This is the chart that I have if y'all been watching my videos, but this is the chart that I have. So recently they hit the East, they hit the West in 2022 and 2024, 2023 in they hit the East for 2023 and hit the East again for 2025. So let's put it like this, right? 2022 they go West, 2023 they go East, 2024 they go West, and 2025 they go back to the East, right? Do they go back to the West in 2026? That is possible. Or do they go to the North? Because it hasn't been 14 years since they've been to the North. It hasn't been a while. It's been only like what? It's been 14 years since they've been to the NFC North. And the reason why for that is the NFC North is kind of like on a 20-year rotation, right? A 20-year rotation. They hit the NFC South recently, the West recently, and the East recently. The only division that haven't been hit in a long time is the NFC North, and it's been 14 years. And I guarantee you this: they don't hit the NFC South until next year. That's guaranteed. Remember, they're rotating through divisions, and you can clearly see that on this chart. They're rotating through divisions. You can clearly see that. It's very obvious that they're rotating through divisions. You can see it. But I kind of like, since they hit the East recently, I don't think they go back to the East. Because there's only one NFC East team in the playoffs, and that's the Eagles. There's just one. There's three NFC West teams in the playoffs. That's a lot. There's two NFC North teams in the playoffs, the Bears and the Packers. So I kind of like narrowed it down to these divisions here. The North, the North and the West is somebody from these divisions. And what I want y'all to do, right? I want y'all to keep track of the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. Just keep track of those three teams. And whoever gets eliminated, cross them out. Just cross them out. Because if you start crossing them out, you're going to narrow it down. Same thing with the NFC North. The Bears and the Packers are in the playoffs. And whoever loses, cross them out. Whoever gets eliminated from the playoffs, cross them out. Same thing with the North. Whoever's in the playoffs, cross them out. Because that's going to narrow down your options. So just cross them out. But it's definitely somebody from out of the West or the North. It's somebody from here. It's definitely somebody from here. If it is somebody from the West, it's probably Seattle. If it's somebody from the West. Because I know damn well it ain't the 49ers and the Rams. That's going to be too obvious. Really making the 49ers go to the Super Bowl in their own fucking building? Are you serious? They did that shit twice with the Bucks and the Rams. That's two times they did that shit twice. That's too obvious. And a lot of people gonna say the NFL scripted. Hell yeah. I mean the NFL been scripted, but that's really, really obvious. Like that's scripted obvious. Yeah, that's too obvious. But if it is somebody from the West, it's probably Seattle. It's not the Rams because they recently picked the Rams. The Rams tend to appear and disappear on this chart for like 18 to 20 years. You can see that on this chart here. See how the Rams appear and disappear for a while? They appear here and then disappear and then reappear here and then disappear for a while and then reappear again here. And I think the Rams disappear again for a while and then reappear again. Yeah. The 49ers used to appear a lot up here, but then their appearance starting to become like less and less. See, like right here and right here and right here. It's kind of like sporadic, basically. Kind of like popping up out of nowhere. I don't think it's the 49ers. No, I don't. I don't think it's them. That's too obvious. But it's probably somebody from the North or the West. So let's go to the NFC. Well, not the NFC. The AFC. Now, the AFC is different. And I'm going to tell y'all one thing. They spent a lot of time in the AFC West. A lot. They spent 11 years in this division. That's a long time. 11 years is a long time. They've been to, it started off with the Broncos first, right? Twice. And then it was all Chiefs afterwards. They did go to the AFC North, but that was only one time. It's kind of like rare you see this division and this, especially this division, the AFC North and South. These divisions get hit rarely, like rarely. The main divisions that get hit the most is the East and the West, the AFC East and the AFC West. So this is what I'm thinking logically, right? If you look at the AFC North, the records for the Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers, their records are not that good. One of these teams are going to get eliminated from the playoffs. Whoever the fuck wins the game in Week 18, whoever wins and gets in the playoffs, but they'll most likely get booted the fuck out of the playoffs in the first round, which is probably most likely. So it's probably nobody from the North. So let's go let's go here. Let's go to the East. I mean, not to the East, to the West, the AFC West. Who's in the playoffs in the AFC West? Well, Raiders and Chiefs got eliminated. So the Broncos and Chargers are the only teams that's in the playoffs in the AFC West. Only teams in the playoffs. The AFC South, I think there's two teams in the AFC South in the playoffs too. That's the Colts and not the Colts, the Jaguars and the Texans. But it's very rare. When I mean rare, I mean fucking rare. They hit the AFC South. It's rare. Look how many times they hit this division. There's not a lot. It's very less. It's rare. This division it gets cock blocked by these three divisions. Like just completely over fucking shadowed. And if a team do mix it here, like mix the Super Bowl from the AFC, it's probably because all these divisions here are weak. That's probably what it is. But so this is what I'm thinking. Since they've been in the AFC West for 11 plus years, and this is known, they tend to move away from a division when they stay in a division for too long. The AFC North era is a perfect example of that. The AFC North era lasted 13 years. That's from 2001, starting with the Ravens, and 2013. That was the AFC North era. That lasted 13 years. So they've been in this division for 13 years, and then they moved back to the what? The West, right? And you can clearly see that, right? You can clearly see that they went from the here and then went straight to the West. They went from here to the AFC West, starting with the Broncos twice, and then the Chiefs followed right behind them. That's 11 years. And then you had the Patriots era, which was also overlapping with this era and this era. So the Patriots were overlapping with this era and this era, the AFC West era and the AFC North era. The Patriots era was overlapping with both of these eras. It was overlapping. Uh, so my conclusion is, I think they go since they hit this. Since it's probably nobody from the AFC North, which is probably most likely. I think they go back to the East because they tend to hit these divisions more. They tend to hit the East and the West a lot more than they do North and South. So I think it's probably somebody from the East. It just make a lot of sense. The Patriots and the Bills are in the playoffs, so it's probably somebody from the East. That's what I'm thinking. Logically, this is going based off my chart here. This is based off my chart here, but this is logically because they do tend to hit the East, the AFC East, and the West a lot more than they do North and South, and that's clear and obvious. You can see that on this chart because I think they've been in the AFC West for 11 plus years. 11 plus years. That's a long time, and they tend when they sit in a division for a long time, they move out of that division and move to another. And there's a huge possibility I think they do go back to the East. And the Patriots and the Bills are in the playoffs. That's very interesting. But this video is mainly about if I'm wrong about the Bears and Bills gematria shit. This is if I'm wrong, but this is going off my chart pattern here. They do tend to hit the East and West more, but they've been in the AFC West for 11 plus years. And when they sit in the division that long, they tend to move to another division. And there's a perfect example of that. You got the AFC North era from 2001 to 2013. That lasted 13 years. And when that happened, they moved out of that division and went into the AFC West and started hitting the AFC West a lot more. And the Patriots era was overlapping with this era and this era. So the Patriots era lasted a long time too. But they stayed in the AFC West for 11 plus years. That's a long time. And normally when they sit in a division that long, they move out of that division. Yeah, they move out of that division. I think there's a possibility they go to the AFC East. I think that's guaranteed. It's probably somebody from the East. Yeah. So let me go to the next slide. So this is what I'm thinking, right? This is kind of like what I narrowed it down to. NFC East got hit already. Been in the AFC West for 11 plus years. Rams and 49ers got hit already. Haven't been in the NFC North in 14 years. The NFC South doesn't get hit until 2027 and 2028. Yeah. So this is what I kind of like narrowed it down to. It's either somebody from the West, somebody from the North, or somebody from the East. And if it is somebody from the AFC East, it's probably the Bills because they've been hitting they hit the Patriots a lot. Look how many times they hit the Patriots. That's more than the Bills and the Dolphins combined. That's how many times they hit the Patriots. If they do go to the East, it's probably the Bills. If they go East, if they go back to, because remember, the AFC, the AFC East and West get hit a lot more than the AFC North and AFC South. That's clear. You can see that on the chart. So there's a huge possibility they go back to the East. I highly doubt they go West again because they've been in the West for a long time. They've been in the West for a long time. They've been in the West for 11 plus years. And normally when they sit in a division that long, they move to another division, right? So there's a possibility they go back to the East for a little bit and then shift back somewhere else. That's what I think. But this is what I narrowed it down to. So what I want y'all to do, right? I want y'all to keep track of the Patriots, keep track of the Bills, keep track of the Bears, the Packers, and keep track of the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams in the playoffs. Just keep track of those teams. And whoever gets eliminated, cross them off. Because that's going to narrow down your options. So just cross them off completely. Just cross them off. Because that's going to narrow down your options. But this is what I'm thinking logically. This is going based off my chart here. And this is known. It's the same thing in the NFC too. Because they tend to hit the East and the West a lot more too. In the NFC as well. Just like the AFC. And normally when they don't hit a division for a certain long time, there's a possibility they could go to that division, but we'll have to wait and see. But it has been 14 years since they hit the NFC North. Been 14 years. But I want y'all to just keep track of these teams, right? This video is basically about, if I'm wrong about everything about the Bills and the Bears in gematria. This is basically if I'm wrong about all of that. So I'm going based off my chart that I've been made and have. And honestly, it kind of making sense. So this is kind of like what I narrowed it down to. They could go. It's a possibility they go back east again. So they tend to hit the East and the West, the AFC West a lot more than North and South. So there's a possibility they go back to the East. Yeah, there's a possibility of that. But this is what I'm thinking logically. But this is the end of the video. Okay. But I want y'all to keep track of the teams that's in the playoffs, right? The ones that's in the playoffs, that's right here. The teams that's in the playoffs, that's right here. But just keep track of them, and whoever gets eliminated, cross them off. That's just simple as that. But this is the end of the video. Y'all have a nice day.